How's it going, YouTube? We're back again with another Master Duel deck profile. The deck I have for you today is Labrynth. I think a lot of people are playing this deck right now, and because it's probably like tier 1, this deck has the ability to do a lot of cool things and a lot of unhealthy things as well for now in Master Duel. I think a lot of you probably know what a lot of these cards do already, so I'm not going to spend too much on like the actual card details, more of just like the card choices. After the deck profile, I do have some games to show you, some replays, and you'll see in the replays that I was definitely playing some cards in here that were there before and not anymore, just because they didn't really hit with some of the matchups that I was running into. So even with this deck profile that you see in front of you, I don't think that this is probably the end of it. I still think I'm going to be making a couple of different choices, and I'll explain those at the end. So starting off, we have 1 Coup Clock. This card just allows you to activate one of your set cards if you set it this turn. 3 Maxi to draw cards, 3 Stovey, and 3 Chandelier just to get access to your Labrynth Trap and or field spell. 3 Ariana, 1 Lovely, and 2 Lady. We're also playing Lord of Heavenly Prison. So this card actually has like a couple of nice interactions with this deck. One, you can activate it from the hand, and now your set cards cannot be destroyed by card effects, but you still got to watch out for stuff like Evenly. The other cool interaction with this card is that if it's revealed and then specialed after a set card is activated, you get to set another card from your deck. So you can pretty much set anything that you're looking for. You can set Pot of Extravagance, draw more cards the next turn. You can set the virus cards. You can set Punishment, another Labrynth card if you need that. But the other reason why this works out pretty well is because it is a dark with 3000 attack and 3000 defense. So this works actually well if you already have the virus cards set up. In one of the replays, you can see that I have the Lady already on the field. I special Lord, and then as soon as I special Lord to get the additional set, I was able to activate the Epidemic Virus Chain Lady to get another set card, and I was able to tribute the Prison, the Lord of Heavenly Prison, instead of having to get rid of Lady. 2 Pot of Extravagance. I'm only playing 2 because with 3 you have the option of drawing into 2 or activating 1 and resolving it and then drawing into another, and that never really feels that great. Another reason why is that I'm actually using some of the extra deck cards either to make those cards or sending them with some other cards like Punishment. I am playing 2 copies of the field spell because since everyone's playing this deck, the field spell can sometimes be the card that defines the win, and because everybody knows that, they try to out it. So having a second copy that you can get your hands on, or just, you know, being able to draw it turn 1 and having access to it right away can feel pretty good. We're playing 1 Super Poly. This was 2, but sometimes the discard hurts you because you're already discarding off of the furniture cards. But nonetheless, Super Poly is pretty strong removal for cards. And we're playing pretty much every single target that you can play for Super Poly. We're playing 1 Epidemic Virus because we're degenerate. I've had games where I was able to resolve this twice and call spells and traps and just wipe out everything. We're playing 1 Full Virus. If you're not too familiar with this card, you tribute a dark monster with 2000 or more defense. Look at your opponent's hand, all monsters they control, and all cards they draw until the 3rd turn of this card's activation. Destroy all monsters with 1500 or less defense. So this can hit like a lot of the cards in Branded. This can actually destroy Flu. And what's nice about this is that you can even just do Ariana. You can just tribute the Ariana for this because it has 21 defense. So even just normal summoning Ariana with this card in your hand already, you just set this, activate it on your opponent's turn, and probably wipe out like 2 or 3 monsters in their hand and anything that they draw into. Playing 2 Evenly, just a solid going second card, pretty good removal. 1 Trap Trick, because we're playing a lot of 2-ofs and or 3-ofs, we can use this to banish the 1 copy and get exactly what we're looking for. We're playing Double Punishment, playing 2 Ice Dragon's Prison. This can hurt like Branded. This also works in the mirror match as well. And of course, we're playing 3 Welcome and 3 Big Welcome. To round it off, we're playing Double Solemn Judgment. If you don't open Lord and they're trying to out your back row, this card can stop that. But being able to stop any summon or activation of a spell or trap is just regardless pretty strong. For the extra deck, we're playing 2 Entis for the punishment targets. We're playing 1 Mud Dragon for Super Poly along with Garura, Starving Venom, and Drago's Tepelia. For additional cards, we're playing the Sky Prison. This is actually a pretty good card to go into if you're going up against like Tier. We're playing 1 Dingirsu. We're playing 1 Aggregator. This is another punishment target, so you can just destroy 1 monster and negate another when this card is sent to the graveyard. Finally, we're playing 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix, 1 Beat Cop. just in case we need to protect any of our cards, 1 Muckcracker, 1 Unicorn, and 1 Goddess. But at the end of the day, the extra deck doesn't really matter with this deck. You're pretty much just going to win with the main deck. Before we get into the gameplay, I do want to talk about additional tech choices. So another card that you can play that I was actually trying out in the Monster Festival, because a lot of people are playing this, pretty much like every deck I go against is Labrynth. If not, like it's the one Dark World maybe. But this card can actually come up pretty well in the mirror match, because trying to out the Lovely or trying to out Lady can sometimes be difficult with everything else in your main deck. So this card being able to get even stronger the longer that the game goes on, and the more traps that you get in your graveyard can actually come up. Also on special summon, you get to set any trap that has anything to do with the battle phase, and Labrynth actually does have a card that does that. With the Fair Welcome Labrynth, when a monster declares an attack while you control a fiend monster, target 1 card on the field, negate the attack, and if you do, destroy the targeted card. Then you can set 1 non-Labrynth normal trap from your hand or deck. I think another card that can probably be played specifically for the Monster Festival is the Labrynth setup. Because in the mirror, it's just 2 trap decks going up against each other, they tend to be a little bit grindy. They're outing your cards, you're outing their cards. So having a card like this to get some of your resources back can help you stay in the game for a bit longer. The Labrynth setup says target 2 of your Labrynth spell or traps that are banished or in your graveyard except for itself, shuffle them into the deck. Then if you control a fiend monster, you can set a non-Labrynth normal trap with different names directly from your deck equal to the number shuffled. Next, for some additional tech options, another card that I was trying out in the Monster Festival, because I am running into Labrynth a lot, is Heavy Storm Duster. Being able to set this off of the Lady or just having it turn 1, and as soon as they set and you just blow up 2 of their cards, is pretty impactful. You could also play D-Barrier. I don't know if I would play it at 2 like I was originally, maybe just as a 1-of. A version of this deck that I was actually thinking about making was that I'm playing a lot of 1-of traps. It makes the deck pretty flexible and able to deal with a lot of different kinds of boards. You could also play the Archfiend's Ghastly Glitch. If you control a fiend monster, target 1 card on the field, destroy it, then you could send a fiend from your deck to the graveyard. I would say that Imperm is a pretty good card that you could play in this deck as well, because if you have Lady in hand and activate Imperm during your opponent's turn going first, yeah, it's a hand trap, so you can negate one of their monsters effects, slow down their plays a little bit, but now you can special the Lady from hand. I've not tried it myself, but Waking the Dragon could be another normal trap that you could play. If you're afraid of your opponent outing out your back row, this will at least get you some of your resources back if they do. And the cool thing about Waking the Dragon is that it's activated whether it's destroyed or banished. But if your opponent outs this card, you get to special something from the extra deck, so you could throw in some like pretty crazy cards in the extra deck. Finally, another card that I was thinking about trying in this deck is Metaverse. Because the field spell can actually make the difference in the mirror match, but also apply a lot of pressure in just like regular standard games, having a trap card that can get you the field spell would be pretty impactful, I think. Because if you have Lady on the field, you could activate this, then chain Lady, get an additional trap along with the field spell, and now if you have any of the welcome cards face down, now they're all popped now that you have the field spell up. So you could probably even get away with playing like 1 of the field spell and like 1 Metaverse, so you're still playing like 2 copies, but now 1 of them is a trap. But that's the deck profile. Let's just get right into the games.